This is Rebecca with the Cat and Rebecca Show, Keep It Real Estate, and we're with Jennifer Underwood and Corner Escrow. We want to talk a little bit about for sale by owner and an escrow, what the role in an escrow would be. And I guess, what are your primary for sale by owners or transactions look like? Who mostly comes to you?
So for sale by owner really is when there is an agent that's representing seller or buyer in a transaction. A lot of times it can be family owned, that it's just transferring between the family, or sometimes it's been a renter that's lived in the property for a long time and they want to purchase the home now or exercise their lease option to buy. And so since the seller has already realized the buyer that they feel that they don't need to have a real estate agent come into that transaction. So those are the most common for sale by owner clients that I see.
And that would make sense as far as making it an ease, because the buyers and sellers have a relationship with one another, so they've probably worked all the details out. They know each other fairly well, and that they know they can make it through and get everything done. The other type of for sale by owner would be those that we always see the sign, somebody's trying to sell their house on their own, and now they have a buyer maybe come in and they don't have a contract, they don't have anything. What are your services for that person?
So for a true for sale by owner, I know, and just being honest, that a lot of times the seller is like, well, we can save ourselves a lot of commission that we don't have to pay because we don't need to be represented by an agent. There still are laws under the state of California of disclosures that do have to be passed along during a transaction. So escrow still always remains our neutrality, and that we are always a third party disinterested, and we cannot get into negotiations between sellers or buyers. So that's true whether it's a for sale by owner or if you have agents representing. If it's a for sale by owner, really the seller and buyer have to discuss it amongst themselves. They don't have agents representing them, so they've got to hash that out. We do not replace a real estate agent.
So even though the seller decides to go with an escrow company, they have to be aware that you can't help them through the process. You can't negotiate between the buyer and themselves, and that you are a neutral party and not representing either side, even though the seller is going to you and hiring you.
Correct. We still maintain our third party disinterest in not taking any sides. We don't negotiate. We still do our escrow work and all of the processes that are required of us, but we can't step into that ground at all.
And you can't advise them because, again, you're not an attorney. You can't help them fill out the disclosure form. So that the part of where an agent might be helpful would be the parts that they would have to rely on themselves and get the information otherwise.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, and I guess that is pretty much it. I don't know what other questions, if you are a for sale by owner, you might have from an escrow agent. So maybe you want to click on the link and we'll try to get those questions answered in our next show. This is Rebecca with Keep It Real Estate.